quite understand. They hear the word archetype. Some people have vaguely heard of it, have an understanding, but most people don't. And even when I conduct workshops, it's like I say, well, archetypes are personifications, and then they give me that blank look of, what's a personification? And so I say, okay, these are archetypes. So they are kings, queens, teachers, healers, rebels, addicts, martyrs, princes, princesses. They are all of those things. They are archetypes, they are personifications, and each archetype has certain personality traits. Okay, and basically this is the whole key to where we are. And so when I start to say that, people understand, because they say, oh, yes, I'm a teacher, or I'm a healer, or of course I'm a mother. And they have an understanding. Because the really good things about archetypes is that they're universal. And it doesn't really matter where I am or who I am talking to. Okay, they have that understanding of those personality traits that is within each of those archetypes. Every decision we make is archetypal based. It's archetypal energy. People have no concept of what they're doing. They just go along, lead their lives. It's only when we sit down at the workshop and we go through their archetypes and give them that self-understanding, it's like the light bulb lights up. It's like, oh, now I know why I do this. Now I know when I do this, and they can see it all of the time. And not only for themselves, they also see when other people are using their archetypal energy. And so if there's a clash, if you have, two queens wanting to claim their territory, particularly at work or something like that, then this is archetypal energy. Whereas you can also get, if they're defined in their realms, if they're defined in their duties, then all works really smooth. So we all have 12 main archetypes. We actually choose them before we incarnate. So we choose them in spirit. And we say, okay, what do we need? What personality traits, what archetypes do we need for this lifetime to help us through the experiences, to learn our lessons, and to be in contact with ourselves both in the physical and in the spiritual? And so we choose the archetypes and we bring them down. I can give you a perfect example. Because we choose our archetypes, but we don't choose our experiences. So Helen Keller, to me, is a really good example. She obviously chose a martyr archetype. But of course, nobody would choose to be deaf, blind and dumb. Okay, but she chose this archetype to help her learn her lessons and to go through the experiences that she needed to go through. And what an amazing person she was, and what an amazing gift she has given to the world. And this was her choosing that particular archetype. So we are a spiritual energy, and we also are living in the physical plane. So we are that combination of spiritual and physical. And this is what our archetypes allow us to be. They allow us to be both of those things. And that's very important to have that understanding to start with. There are some archetypes that are more physical in their nature, and there are other archetypes that are more spiritual in their nature. For instance, if you have the goddess, the divine child, the wise woman, the mystic, they're more spiritual in nature. Okay, and then if you look at the physical ones, you've got the rebel, you've got the adventurer, you've got the servant, you've got the mother and the father. They're much more physical and practical in nature, because we do live in this earth and we have to, we're here for a reason, and obviously we choose those archetypes to help us with those things that we need to learn.